So yesterday I just did another job interview for my own company. I do lots of interviews, and I just wanted to give some advice to some people going out there and doing job interviews. Some of the top questions, like when you end your interview, let's just start by saying the one thing you do not definitely want to do is whenever the interviewer says to you, "Do you have any questions for me?" The one thing you don't want to do is say no. That just doesn't set a good tone for the end of the interview. You should come up with something, and I just have a few different top ones here that I would suggest to you. And who am I? What am I? Who? What? Why do I give you authority to explain this to you? My name is Mark Armour. I own a few businesses here in the Boston area, the city of Boston. I've been doing this for 25 years. So I've interviewed thousands and thousands of people, and I just want to, I've recently, the kids that are coming in the interview, the young adults that are coming in the interview, I've even had people, I say, "So what do you know about our company?" And they go, "Nothing. I just saw the job advertisement." And I'm like, oh my God, So anyway, let me start. I say the one thing you should never do at the end of a job interview is say, the worst thing you say is, "No, I don't have any questions." This is how important it is to me. I even wrote down notes. So job interviews aren't just about answering questions. They're also an opportunity for you to ask questions about what's going on in the organization you want to work in. The one thing I would say is you want to definitely demonstrate that you're interested in the job and the position that you're taking. So you can say something like, "Thank you for sharing so much about the job. What does success look like in this job?" So you're what you're saying is you're looking to grow in the company. You're looking to move up. You're ambitious. Not overly ambitious. You're just basically asking, what does success look like in this position? So that's definitely one question I would ask, and that gives you some pointers at the end of the thing. You're not left blank saying, "No, don't know anything about the company." The other question I would suggest is understanding what goes on in the company culture. So that's something you should be interested in. How would you describe the culture here? Are there opportunities for team collaboration? Are there opportunities for me to move again, looking to grow in the company, move up in the company? So that's just something that I would suggest. That way, whenever the person who's hiring you, they can say, they can give you an indication of what they expect from you as part of the team, or what your roles are, more defined that way. Then you also want to ask like growth opportunities. We mentioned this, we've touched on that already, but you definitely want to ask, is there mentorship? Is there someone that can show you, how to move up in the company? And another thing I always ask is I've recently changed jobs. I have businesses and everything else, but I've also taken on another job. And the one thing that I asked the people at my interviews, whenever they said, "Do you have any questions?" I was like, "What do you enjoy most about working here?" Like, I asked that to the interviewer. I was like, "What do you enjoy about working in this company?" And you sometimes get some surprising answers, but it gives the interviewer a possibility to like show what the company is all about. You can actually tell if they're genuine or not about their job, whether they're interested in it or not, or they come across as flat, or they don't really care. You can figure that out. So that's a great question, I would say. It's like, why do you enjoy working in this company? And another thing, then, that there's a question it's kind of a bold question. It's kind of something that you might want to proceed with caution, or if you're having like a good rapport with the interviewer, then one of the things that I would suggest that you would ask is, before we wrap up here, is there anything about my background or qualifications that give you pause? Because I would be happy to address these concerns right now. So what that does, that gives you, the interviewer, a chance, if they're on the fence with something or nothing's sort of being clarified about a certain point, it gives them then a chance to refer back to you and say, "Oh, well, actually, we were thinking about this, certain qualification that you had," or whatever. Like, it's not clear when you took that, or it's not clear when you did that job. And remember, the questions at the end of an interview are just as important as the answers that you give. They showcase your curiosity and enthusiasm for the job. So just make sure you're prepared. And please do a little bit of research before you go into the interviewer and ask, if the interviewer asks you, what do you know about this company? You go, oh, nothing. Or do you have any questions? No. That's not a good way to end an interview.